So real estate is the safest place to be in or investing also.
That's an
And that
excellent point,
can be,
right? Yeah.
nobody can replace real estate. Nobody can replace real estate. If you are in real estate or if you're buying real estate, that is the safest thing you can do in your whole lifetime.
Your job is safe.
The job is safe. Who are buying, they are also safe.
Hi, Anirban. It's great to have you on the chat today. Thanks for your time.
Niranjan, for the time
Yeah.
and
All right.
opportunity.
So, Anirban, you spent decades in real estate sales and marketing. You are an alumni of NIT Trichy. You've also been to the ISB, and with this kind of sales and marketing knowledge. So we'll kind of talk about the both sides of the table, right? So one is the seller side and the buyer side, and I'm sure you kind of have that deep expertise. So can we get started?
Great. Just quick correction. I have about more than 2.5 decades in the experience in
Fantastic.
the real estate sales and marketing.
Fantastic. Yeah. All right, brilliant. So, from this, 2.5 decades that you've been in the space, how has the mindset of buyers changed, particularly in Bangalore? But I know you've worked in other cities also, so maybe you can give us a gist of that.
I think after COVID, a lot of changes have happened in real estate, like all other industry. I think today's market is more about driven by the end user than the investors. What was 5 years back, the different scenario. People is look at a lot of investment, but as the COVID has taken as a and make us understand that what is the need of the home for each and every individual. So everybody is trying to buy a home today. That has been a great thing. Other than that, the markets have been going great across India, across pan India. So I think people understand the need of the home today. And tools, we have many developers come from across India for different cities who are trying to grow the business, trying to get more and more professionalism into industry, more inventory, more good location, and definitely that's gonna boosting up the whole industry.
Great. So, particularly from Bangalore standpoint, are you noticing any changes? So, you mentioned COVID. So, pre-COVID, we saw people were looking at ticket sizes. Post-COVID, they're looking at the square feet sizes rather. So, anything that
That's
comes to your mind?
absolutely. So actually, pre-COVID, the two-bedroom was dominating in the IT belt areas. Right now, if you look at two-bedroom supply has come down to about 10 to 15%. Earlier, it was 30-35%. So people have started looking at 2.5 or 3 bedroom. People understand the need of extra bedroom, which has been definitely been a predominant in the market and which are driving a lot of sales in the IT areas as well as the North Bangalore as well.
Great. Okay. Let me ask you a sales related question. So, from a sales perspective, what have you seen that usually breaks the trust between the buyer and the sales team? Any things that you've seen?
Very important thing in the where customer comes in, they buy, they look at the sales team, salesperson. They actually don't buy, they buy them, they buy the person because buying a house in India, 0.003% people can buy a house in the whole lifetime. That's a figure we have. And that figure, the Pithora of the sea, we have very limited people. And person who come and buy house, that's the most expensive thing he or she buy in their life. They put a lot of money on the table. Where the trust is something very important, as you rightly tell. So they look at the person who's selling them. Are they listening them? Are they understanding them? Salesperson job is there. We have many hats. Which hat I should wear and I should fulfill a requirement. I should work according to your requirement, not I should work what I have to sell. I should
Mhm.
sell what the person opposite side requires. So that's something we create. We build the trust. For me, but selling is nothing like the relationship building. I keep on telling my team or something. As you told, I try to create a connection with each and every buyer. They buy a 1 crore, they buy a 5 crore, they buy a 3 crore, does not matter. Everybody is important for me. I give them the importance. I listen to them. I respect them. I try to get them what they're looking at. And connection. I try to build a connection with my college, with my language, something. So they feel me that I am on their side. So that's something is important to do that. So when
Yeah, I
you
think,
do that,
yeah.
when you do that, that things happens. That happens, and that take the thing in another way. So they don't feel that I'm selling them. They feel that I am their friend or family or something. I'm suggesting them something. That makes a lot of
Absolutely.
difference. That's what I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah, that's the real human connect which does the magic,
Absolute,
right? Yeah,
absolute. That's a very important thing.
brilliant. So, there are two kinds of urgency, right? From a home buyer standpoint, there's one real market urgency where the prices are genuinely going up and inventory is shrinking and projects are getting farther from the city, downtown, etc. Right? That's the urgency governed by the market. And then there's this urgency around the sales process, right? So all of us have been trained as salespeople saying, there's no sales, there's no urgency, there's no sale, etc. So how does from a buyer standpoint, how should a trained buyer or a informed buyer look at the urgency driven by the market versus driven by the sales process?
Good question. Actually, today's market, at least in Bangalore, uh, there's a hype which has been created because of the current buyer scenario or buyer trends. So today, in look at South or North or East Bangalore, it is again driven by 60-70% about the IT, the IT guys. So IT, they are the who are buying it. Today, Bangalore extended till Hoskote. We're launching property in Hoskote. Hoskote, not anymore Hoskote. It's become the Bangalore.
Yes.
Now people are thinking that I should stay in Hoskote or I stay in closer to my workplace. So today the real thing is that for you staying in Hoskote, there are benefit is the price, but staying closer to your office space, there are benefits of social infrastructure, your kids, school, everything, all things are there. Now the person has to take a call what's he or needed. They maybe pay about 20% extra because today's real scenario is yes, inventories are moving in. Bangalore is clocking good number of inventory every quarter after quarter. And there are launches. Bangalore kind of launches happening for last couple of years is surprising. The Bangalore before COVID, we had about close to 30-35% inventory which is unsold, ready inventory. Today that price thing has come down in single digit. We don't have 4 to 5% inventory which is ready to win available. So you understand the scenario. So there's ready to win flats are not available means there are a gap between supply and demand. So demands are almost closing towards your supply. So the people who are trying to buy, there is a definitely a rush. The I want to buy a good property, I want to buy a good location, good developers. Yes, I think that's a time people should take a decision and go forward. I don't think there's a much kind of a gimmick or something is coming up, but that's a real rush. So if you look at any project people developer launch, so they are able to liquidate about 30-40% time to launch itself.
Okay, that makes sense. So, a follow-up question on that. So, in sales and marketing, typically it involves a lot of storytelling and not a bad thing. It's a great way to express our ideas to a larger audience. So from a buyer standpoint, right? Any tips on how they should not get carried away in that grand scheme of things and keep true to their objective, because none of us want to see cancellations, right? Even as a buyer or a seller. So how do we keep true to their script? How do we get the buyers to look stay true to their requirement versus get carried away by the flowery language.
Earning husband wife both put together about 2 lakh rupees in a month, the
Mhm.
family. You should know that you, as per the thumb rule, you get about 50.
Sorry, can you please continue from where you left?
No problem. So I'm trying to tell, if
Mm.
somebody is earning about 2 lakh rupees in hand every month, so they can get a loan of about 2 crores approximately. They can get a loan. So they should
Mhm.
stop themselves on that. They should not stretch. They can stretch about 10 to 15% depending on the player getting a increment after next 2 years. If property is 2 to 3 years down the line, so you should first look at your bucket. You should not overstretch. That's the first important thing. That's what the main cancellation come. You try to look at some property, do this, I want to get. Otherwise, you have to find a way out to arrange fund from maybe for your family, friends, or whatever it is. But that's the first important thing. Second thing, amenities are important, but you have to understand how much amenity you are going to use it.
Mm.
Amenity come with a cost. It looked lucrative today, but maintenance is a cost. So after you move in, the builder handover, it's come at the cost you to maintain the property.
Very true.
That's the important thing. You can have 4 swimming pool. Containing 4 swimming pool, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
It will come from your pocket. Nobody's going to pay for it. So decide which is the actual things required. That's a very important thing. If you look at sustainability, that's a very important thing today, which is people really ignore. You should look at, do I have a electric charging point for my car? The people are running towards EV. Shall I have solar water lighting system common corridor? Shall I have my house is well lit? I use less lights. Do I have rainwater harvesting? Do I have the water treatment plant? This is a basic thing if you look at the how the water is coming, because water costs a lot of money in Bangalore. Sustainability is very important thing. And definitely the third important thing, the trust for the track record of the builder. You don't have to buy for a category builder. You can look at the track record of the builder, what they have done, what they are doing. So keep a tab. This is the three things I should suggest to the buyer who are looking to buy a house. You can do that. Buying house is important, but I believe at the end of the day, you should have peaceful sleep in the night. You should not think that I have so much burden. You're buying a house, you're buying a home, not a house, home. So that is important thing. You should sleep peacefully in the night, then you really make to buy a home. You should not have sleepless night because of buying a home. That's my section.
Right. So, especially in cities like Bangalore, we tend to kind of get influenced by a lot of global markets, right? So we are a cosmopolitan crowd here, etc. So, from what is happening in the real estate scenario, do you see any influences either from what's happening in Dubai or China or in the West, etc.? So, what kind of influences do you see in the Bangalore real estate space from a builder standpoint?
See, these are the good influence what's happening from Dubai or maybe the China or Southeast Asia. We're getting to know a lot of new things, the new ideas, new way to do a construction. Today, a lot of guys are trying to use AI into construction. So they're trying to make sure that my project goes in hand in hand. The I can squeeze my timeline. I can speed up the constructions. A lot of good amenities coming in, looking at the Western. And it's a learning things. I think that's is definitely a great thing for the India to learn. And they're also learning for us. It's a learning thing from each other. I think that's a good thing which is happening. I think AI is changing the industry, but I can assure you everybody, AI will not make real estate down because AI can't build a house. AI can't sell a house. So real estate is the safest place to be in or invest in also.
That's an
And that
excellent point,
can be,
right? Yeah.
nobody can replace real estate. Nobody can replace real estate. If you are in real estate or if you're buying real estate, that is the safest thing you can do in your whole lifetime.
Your job is safe.
The job is safe. Who are buying, they are also safe. Trust
Very,
me, that's the best thing can happen.
very interesting perspective. So, yeah, thanks for that. Leading to my next question. So, from a buyer standpoint, you would have seen some well-prepared buyers or well-informed buyers asking a set of questions or giving a certain set of cues versus the first-timers or people who are not aware so much about it. So, any things, any pointers like that, as in how do an experienced buyer or a well-informed buyer quality of questions differ from others?
As I mentioned, AI has make things very simple. So before buyer come in, they do all the research and come today. But 70-80% buyer. So our jobs are simple now. So we listen to them. First important to listen to them. We listen. So they are want us to listen. So we listen everything of them. And we make our house ready. So we make so it's a very important to information which is they want to know. So if you are selling a product, you should know 5 or 10 kilometers, whatever is there, what they are selling, what's amenities. If you get this, these guys are satisfied. They knows that I'm the right person. He don't want he or she should not know that I know about my product. I know other product also. And that make differences. And rest of the question is answered by AI. So that make last 10 to 11 months, our job has become very simple. I can tell you that. And it's going to be more and more simple in the future also. Because we can't hide anything from anyone. The things are there with the AI Baba.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the human connect, the relationships, those things may be the ultimate differentiators because product is
Absolutely.
product and yeah, okay.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I told in the beginning itself.
Okay. So, I know you talked about AI and how it is making the buyer decisions easier or questions easier, etc. But buyers still have a choice overload, right? I mean, there are so many products in the market for his type. So somebody wants to buy a 3 BHK in a particular area, then he has like 20 good options. I'm not talking about the non-RERA and all of that, right? So he has 20 good options and there's a choice overload. Within the same project, there are different towers to choose from. There are different views to choose from. There are different floors to choose from. So there's it kind of tends to get a little overwhelming, right? So what can you advise to the buyer who is affected by the choice overload?
Good question. Actually, see, every market, every product, there are multiple competitions out there. But you should know what fits you. What is the requirement? The three things, there's a fourth thumb rule in real estate. One is the location, second is the third is the time of inventory, fourth is the possession timeline. Fourth, in your boundaries and your the boxes, which is matching, you get the answers. You may
Mm,
choose two or three, come, sit down, understand. This is the one I'm looking at. This is falling into my the four quadrant. What falls in? Sit down, understand, talk, take a decision. Try to look at more, you'll get confused. You never will be able to buy a house if you look at 20 properties. That's my advice. So fourth pathodiagram I'm telling, location, your type, price, type of inventory, and your timeline of the project. This four is something you should put yourself. That answer will come from you, your family. That make a lot of things.
okay. Yeah, that makes it kind of that those thumb rules I'm sure will be useful for people. So finally, from a sales leader's standpoint, right? What from your company standpoint or from your personal standpoint, what is a positive buying experience you'd like to give to buyers?
For me, a buyer, from the time he comes from the gate, security gate, I like to give them the experience from there. I should make them feel the special from there, from the way they enter, the way they enter our marketing office, where they get welcome, where they get assisted, where the team member talk, explain. The the prospective buyer should feel I am in another world. I am so special. I am making them so special that make the differences. So they, I think that's the thing I spoke about it. It's called relationship and the experience. These two things you combine, you are the your sale is done.
Yeah, so that's a positive experience even for the home buyer, right?
Absolutely, you create a positive experience. You should make the things. If I believe in, if somebody is coming in, I offer them the water first. You came from all the hustles and bustles. I can't control outside my office. I can control inside my office. If you come from a busy traffic or something, I give you a big smile, welcome. I give you a cold glass of water with the AC on. You will feel good. Your mind will calm down. You come to buy a home. That something is that I should make you feel you are the king or queen for me.
Yeah, yeah. I think that you've emphasized very clearly that you want to take good care of your customers, inform them about all the things that they should know, help them make a transparent decision, and ultimately
Absolutely.
give them a positive experience. So I think that's the crux of what you've told us today. Thanks so much. It is great to have leaders like you in this space, and want to see more emerging like you, Anirban.
Thank
Thanks
you
for your
so much
time
for the
today.
time. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank
thanks
you.
for your time today. Bye.
Bye.